Hey everybody, this is Peter with BibleMoneyMatters.com talking today about blogging, and I want to give a few tips for new bloggers as they're starting out on their blogging adventures. I've been blogging for 4.5 years now, and during that time I think I've learned quite a bit about how to run a successful blog. I've had a lot of ups and downs during that time. It's amazing high points when back in 2008 the markets crashed, and as a result a lot of people were looking for information about how to improve their finances. And a lot of personal finance blogs really took off during that time, mine included. Also had amazing lows. For example, last year in April 2011, my site traffic dropped by 50 to 70% overnight. It was a result of the Google's Panda algorithm update for their search engine. And I wasn't the only one hit by that, but it was still pretty demoralizing to go through that and watch your site traffic just drop. So through all that, I've been able to learn a lot of different things about blogging, and today I thought I'd share a few tips from that. So first of all, if you're going to be running a blog, you want to expect that you're going to be doing a lot of work. My blog is really more than just my hobby, it's my second job. When I come home at night, I'm checking comments, I'm checking to make sure the sites are up and running. I'm also going and writing posts at night. I write posts during my lunch breaks. Most nights I'm up pretty late, either working on my blog or doing some graphic design work for my other side income, or doing all sorts of things. So that if you're going to be running a blog, you just need to expect that you're going to be doing a lot of work and you're going to be spending a lot of hours for little pay at first. If you're running a blog, you also don't expect to know that you're not going to be just a writer. You're also going to be the IT support guy. You're going to be doing graphic design. You're going to need to figure out how to run a WordPress site. Also, if you're running a blog, you're going to need a strategy to grow. Most people think you just put a blog out there, you start writing, and things are going to start happening. But that really isn't the case. You need to have a strategy for where your site's going to go, a strategy for how to bring in traffic, how to create content, whether or not you're going to need to hire freelance writers, and a variety of other things. So you need a strategy. Another thing, you need to make sure you keep your expectations in check and that you're not expecting thousands of page views right off the bat. Traffic comes over time. You need to build up enough content. You need to build up a network of people that are helping you to share your content, and you just need to be able to put a name out there for yourself before you can expect to really see that kind of traffic. There are the exceptions where somebody gets a whole bunch of media mentions right off the bat and their site just gets a ton of traffic, but that's the exception to the rule. You also need to expect that right away you're not going to be making a ton of money on your site. A lot of people think that you can put a site up there, put up some AdSense ads, and you're going to start making hundreds of dollars a month, and that's just not the case. Again, you need to expect to wait a little while before you start making money. I didn't get my first AdSense payout for several months after I started my blog, and I was lucky because I was writing about some pretty good topics that monetized well. Other people can expect to wait a little bit longer even to start making money from their blogs. But be careful about how you monetize your blog, and don't always take the low-hanging fruit of text link ads and sponsored posts and stuff like that, because that can kind of cheapen and devalue your site a little bit. If you don't make money after 6 months to a year, one of the reasons might be because your content really isn't lending itself to monetization. If you want to see how other sites and how bigger sites do it, go to some of the bigger sites in your niche. For example, my niche, personal finance, you go to some of the sites like Get Rich Slowly or Simple Dollar or Consumerism Commentary, any of these big sites that have recently been bought out. You'll see what topics they're writing about, what kind of things that they're putting in their queue every day, and a lot of times those sites are doing a lot of research for SEO and so forth, and they're going to have some great topics to write about. Write about similar topics. Don't just steal the topics they're writing about, but write about similar types of topics that they're writing about, and you're most likely going to do a lot better with your monetization. Another thing to keep in mind is that you need to diversify your traffic sources when you're running a blog. Don't just rely on Google for your traffic. Rely on other things like social media. Build a network of other blogging friends. Don't work with just Google, work with Bing and Yahoo and other search engines as well. Do as much as you can to diversify your traffic sources. While you can't always get away from Google, you can do your best to try to diversify that a little bit by adding in other things like email newsletter lists and so forth. Do your best also to diversify your income sources. Don't just use AdSense. Also use CPM ads or affiliate ads. Write an ebook and sell the ebook on your site. Just get creative about ways to make money with your site and diversify. So if one of those income sources dries up, your site isn't going to have zero income overnight. One thing also to keep in mind and to encourage you is that a lot of blogs just disappear after a few months because they feel like they're not making any progress. But if you stick with it past that 6 to 12 month range, you're most likely going to be in it for the long haul. The blogger burnout rate is pretty high, and most of those people don't even make it to that 6 month to a year range. So stick with it as long as you can, and if you make it to that point, you're most likely going to do pretty well. And finally, if you're going to want to make money with your blog, and if you want to turn it into a side income and a side business, you need to treat your blog and your website presence like a business. If you treat it like a business, you're more likely to make income like a business would. So just keep that in mind. Keep track of all your expenses. Keep track of what's coming in, what's going out, and treat it like a business, and you'll do a lot better. So those are a few tips and things to keep in mind when you're running a blog. I would love to hear your tips, either here on YouTube or on BibleMoneyMatters.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll stay tuned for your comments. Thanks.